Space of Grace today. Inspiration on the way. May 29th. Passing the baton. As a teenager, I was especially fond of my grandmother. She was the real deal. Genuine love and affection poured out of her for all of her grandchildren. I have folded those wonderful memories to my bosom and cherished them. But what really stood out the most was her love for God. She always reassured people that God would make a way. It meant nothing to me at the time, but slowly, as I got older, it began to make sense. It left a positive image in my head of what the love of God looked like. Even today, I think about the wonderful heritage of strong women of faith that are in my family, and I believe that it is attributed to the light of God that shone brightly from my grandmother's heart. All of us are admonished by God to leave a rich legacy for the next generation to follow. We can initiate the process by intentionally laying a godly foundation, setting good moral standards, and modeling godly behavior. This practice is crucial in transforming the minds of our children and loved ones. Whether it's entertaining too many male suitors, or hanging out in a questionable cocktail lounge, or even engaging in unsavory conversation, the world is looking on with curious eyes. In the same way, our children and families are also watching us, so we must be responsible with our actions. The baton is about to leave our hands and moving into their inexperienced hands. So what legacy are we imparting with this transfer? Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22, verse 6. There is no better joy than knowing that long after your children have moved on to their lives, they have chosen to follow the godly foundation that you laid and lived out. They in turn now have the power to impart the knowledge of God's goodness towards you to the next generation. Oh, beloved, the world is doing their own thing, void of God and making a great big mess of things. If we plan to reclaim our nation for the greater good, then the change has to first begin in each of our homes. This is a consistent and ongoing process of making them see who is behind your success, your positive attitude, your being able to pay the bills and being able to rise up out of poverty and violence. They need to hear that the God of angel armies went before you, stood behind you in good times and in bad. He alone was the one who took you through the storms of life when you lost your home and provided spiritual resources when your back was against the wall. They need to see this unshakable faith in action in their presence, so when their storm comes, they know who to turn to. Today's reflection. Deuteronomy 6, verses 6 through 9. It reads, "These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of your houses and on your gates. This is the power God has placed in your hands. Partner with Him to shape the heart and soul of the next round of leaders among you. Oh, dear friends, the awesome responsibility is in our hands to pass the baton on to the next generation, to pass on the knowledge of God, to pass on the truth, the testimony of what He has done for us. We must empower the next generation with the knowledge of God, that they will take it to their next generation, so that we can establish a godly heritage and that we can ensure that there will not be a generation that did not know about God. Oh, dear friends, be encouraged today. This is your inspiration on the way.